Let's learn now basic proportions of human head and face. Our heads are of ovoid or egg-shaped form. We are symmetrical. So the idea that is very helpful in drawing of a central line can be implemented here as well. We need to differentiate between the idea of the head and the face. Where the hairline is, the head turns into the face, and that's what we consider a face, beginning of the forehead. The first very important part of human proportions is the proverbial thirds. If you divide our face into 3 equal parts, and I want you to pay attention to the way to check how are you doing here. 3 equal parts means measurable, not just 3 random dots anywhere. This alone will give you a drawing, doesn't matter how simple it is, if you are not yet a well-developed portrait artist, will give you a good proportion, and people will look like people, not like some creatures. So this first division will give you the proportion for the forehead. The second for the nose. And this will be from the nose to the chin. The head can be divided in half by the eye level. So roughly, we can always refer to it like that. If this is the size of the head, then where the eye level is, we'll make it 1/2 and 1/2. And the face divided in thirds, and it will be face 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3. Eyebrows converge here. Of course, they have all kinds of shapes and directions. They form this part of the nose that we consider to be like an upper plane. Then there are nostrils, and this will be sort of like a slope that gradually grows into the cheek. So we do not draw lines here, but you can make your drawing look better if you will at least perceive this area. Not necessarily with the line in the future, but you can start there in order to understand the structure. If we have our eye level, and of course we are symmetrical in every way, and our eyes are suspended at the same level, and the eyebrows and everything is parallel to each other, so all that should be considered very strongly. So we will have our eyes and the eye socket somewhere here. You can start with just something there, but then sketching everything pretty much together. You do not necessarily begin with all those proportions. You sketch from observation, and then knowing proportions, you can check your good finds and correct the mistakes. So if we will draw perpendicular line to the eye level from the nostril, it should hit the tear duct. So this gives you a sense of proportion for the eyes. And between the two eyes, there usually is enough room for the third eye. That gives you a chance to keep the eyes in place, not too close, not too far. Safe for the individual features that you observe, and then you understand, okay, this person's eyes are a little wider apart or narrower for resemblance. The mouth. On this third, the mouth opening is on the upper third if we divide this in 3 equal parts. So that will be the area of the mouth opening. It's shaped as a bow, and from this partition between the nostrils, you will observe it on people, on yourself. There are 2 ridges that form a furrow here, and they also form this M-shaped upper lip. The lower lip is usually a little fuller and just like a petal. Also, lower lip is usually darker because of the angle. And this dot for another third can serve as a guide line spot area for this crease for the chin formation. Let's look at the eye structure a little bit. So here is a tear duct. The eye sits in the eye socket, which is about this big in the skull. So there is a big bowl, eyeball. And then it is covered with the lid. The lid is usually looking this way, with the highest point here. And then the lower lid is slightly opposite, so there is this direction of the outstanding points. Here would be the crease that actually holds, sort of hugs the eyeball. Whatever is the style of the eyebrow and tear duct. And then the iris sits like that. See, I'm drawing through the upper eyelid because it's a circle, not in perspective this time. Here would be the pupil, highlight, whatever is the color. And eyelashes and other nice things. We should also remember about the structure of the head. This looks just like some kind of a flat pancake. But we have our forehead shaped in such a way that this area would be fairly flat, and then the temples turn back, and this portion of the head is turned back. We have strong zygomatic bones here. They are cheekbones. and then the jawline, and the chin. Chin is rounded, kind of sticks forward a little bit, and all kinds of little shadows make it happen. So let's just move a little bit this plane down and towards the cheek, and then it goes this way. So everything you draw in terms of all kinds of definitions like wrinkles or shadows you see will add character and age. So be very careful about that. A little shadow is okay, but when you do something like that, then it looks like it's a very serious bag under the eyes. We want this person to be young and rested. So of course you can do wonders with your eraser and clean up things and make all kinds of nice improvements and give this wet appearance of the eye. The nasal fold begins here, just a little bit of anatomy, okay? So here will be just a slight shadow. And then at the corner of the mouth also there is sometimes a little kind of an apron covering it. And a little shadow here too. Whatever is happening with the hair, always look for the direction, because hair consists of strands, and if you follow them, you will have the illusion of a hair. The ear is on 1/3, corresponding with the nose. They're right here. Let's give her an earring. And the neck begins right behind the ear and the jaw. To show you the structure of the neck, there would be a throat, pit of the neck, clavicle, and trapezius, the muscle of the back that forms the shoulder. The widest part of our heads is right here, a little bit above and behind the ears. The hair has volume, so it adds to the size and volume of the head. You cannot just draw this like a skull and then scratch something over to represent the hair. Form principle works everywhere. We are rounded and on the neck and everywhere. So whatever you do, you can always observe the core shadow. There might be a little bit of a reflected light from somewhere there, and then this and that, and then light, and the same as on the nose. So just be observant and remember that everything that you have learned, essentially, it should lead you to this moment when you will be able to sketch people and use everything that you already know about the light and shape and perspective and use it anytime you want.